Okay everyone, and welcome to this week's video. If you remember last week I showed you a selection of military stoves, and the one that was chosen to be shown this week is the Swedish Army Ranger stove, or as it's called, the one-man cooker Jägare. This was chosen by Chado Outdoors and Marco Polo 12008, with the caveat that I actually do some cooking. So this week will be about the stove, and next week will be a cook up using the stove. It could actually turn out to be a cock up, but we'll wait and see. So a big shout out to Chado and Marco Polo for the suggestion. I'm always open to ideas from followers. Now, these stoves, there's a lot of information about them, so I'm also indebted to a user called Stayer. He's a member of the Classic Camp Stoves website forum, and he supplied a lot of information on Swedish military stoves. I'll put links in the description. The website itself is a mine of information run by a guy called Ross, who's been very helpful to me on a number of forums over the past 15 years or so. Check out the site if you haven't already done so. So, here we have the stove. Leather strap, obviously well used, and not an uncommon find amongst stove enthusiasts. These were standard issue for recon units or ranger units of the Swedish Army in the Cold War period. A lot were put on the market after the collapse of the USSR, etc. And they were ended up as surplus to requirements. Maybe not so much now. They're either based on either the Optimus 77A or the Optimus 91 Tor. I believe the ones that they had in the 90s were directly based off the 91 Tor. This model was introduced after 1957, but before 1966. Prior to that, they used what was called the Esbit 27, which had different ventilation holes. They were elongated, not round like this. And it also had Esbit on the lid in the older Esbit script that you'd probably be used to if you're into stoves. Leather strap, well used as you can see, but no date for that. It could be any date. The lid, come fry pan, come bowl, well used, but nice and clean on the inside. Aluminium, and the two straps holders at the side. Inside, a pot grab. This one is made by Svea, no holes like the civilian Trangia one, unlike that. And it's stamped with the 3 crowns and NC 59, which I believe is the date of issue. So this one, this pot grab, dates from 1959. I've put the burner in a Trangia yellow bag. I have a few of these. I'll just get it out, and there we have it. Larger than the civilian one. It's not a screw thread, and I've replaced the O-ring inside. Single line of burner holes. And if you look very closely, I doubt if this will show up in the camera, there are 2 holes on the inside, and you can see the wadding, the wire mesh on the inside that soaks up the alcohol. This one is a Svea, and it was issued in 1965. All these kits consist of parts from different years, as they would be stored separately, and when issued they would just take all the different bits, put them together, make a kit. So this is a year older than me and in much better condition actually. I haven't bothered polishing it up or anything. I want it kept the way it would have been in use. They wouldn't have bothered polishing these up. It's larger than the civilian model. It does not have a simmer ring or a snuffer. You could probably just snuff it out that way, not that way, as you would destroy the rubber ring. However, the Tatonka stainless steel simmer ring for their own burner fits perfectly on there. Allows you a little bit of work. It moves nicely and it's a perfect fit. So that allows me to simmer and not just boil everything. Now, hold on, I'll just get rid of this bag out of the way. Over here I have another Svea burner from 1970. It's actually in slightly better condition. 3 counts and the date of 1970. When I do the cooking next week, I'll be using both burners. They have a burn time of about 40 minutes. I'll probably need more than that to cook from scratch, so this will allow me to swap over the burners without refilling a warm burner and potentially having the fear of a flashback of flame. Now, I'll just put these over to the side. Inside the cooker we have 2 pots, one slightly larger than the other. This is about 1 litre and 1.5 litres or so. I've never actually measured them. We have the burner base, and as you can see, it's got a large hole which will take the military burner. And the top screen. It's just a friction fit. Each person would also have been issued a fuel bottle similar to this one. This is for alcohol. There's also a larger 3 litre one. So these would have, in the winter, this would have been kept close to the body. 1987 Arctic units were issued a liquid pressure stove, and that replaced the alcohol burner. I've never seen one of these. The lower windshield was replaced, or maybe adapted, by one with a tube, a hole, sorry, for the control knob for the kerosene burner. There was also an adapter available in the 1990s to make this hole smaller so that civilian Trangia burners could be used. I've never seen one though, and that might have been due to the availability of the larger burners. I do not know when these were discontinued. Maybe somebody could come back with that. The manufacturers of all the kit were Esbit, pre-50s, Svea, Optimus, and a Swedish company called L&L. As you can see, it differs from the 25 and 27. It's got no metal pot ring in the top. The pot rests on the upper lip, like so. And there's enough room underneath for the flame. The windshield sits in the top lid quite easily. I don't know if this is by design for use in snow to stop it sinking. It would be quite useful. And it's a friction fit, as I said before, just like the older Trangias. You wouldn't be lifting these up that often anyway, but you can using the pot grab. It all fits and you can move it around. The lid can be used as a frying pan. It can be used as a lid, and it also fits inside like that. So like with the graded pots for the Trangia 25 and 27, you could have something cooking, being kept warm or boiling in there, and something on top being kept warm. You could actually also maybe use it as a makeshift oven for reheating stuff, which will be interesting to see. I doubt they would have got that inventive with cooking. This is all pre-bagged MREs, so they would have been carrying tins, etc. It would probably just be chuck it in, fry it up, boil it, whatever, and just basically heat up whatever's in the little tins. If I remember, like the army, the British Army ones were probably not much bigger than the burner. Okay, now I won't be using this. I have these, but I don't use them. Instead, we have our Trangia fuel bottle on this Soto. So let's give it a shot. We'll put a little bit in. It's a bit dry, this one, so I will just let it soak down. As you can see, compared to the civilian Trangias, this takes a lot of fuel. Okay, let's have a shot. Oh, there it is. Just let it burn up. Wait until it blooms. I have pricked the holes on the burner a few times, so it should work. And there we go, one by one by one. It's been soaking up, and you can hear it working away. That's one hole that I'll probably have to prick again there. But it's quite a nice little burn on it, isn't it? The pots sit quite close to the burner once in use. It's mainly for boiling stuff in the configuration, but I'll be cooking next week, so that'll be interesting. I'll just snuff it out. There we go. So that is the Swedish one-man cooker. Yep, nice and warm. I wouldn't really carry much fuel inside that because even with the rubber ring, it's only notched. It's not actually threaded, so it could escape. I'll be putting this back into the fuel bottle once it all cools down. Now, next week I'll be cooking up a meal from scratch using the one-man Jägare stove. I was also hoping to use the Omni oven on it, but it's a bit precarious. I'll probably use the pot and the lid, as I showed you before, to create a makeshift oven for a few minutes, just to heat up some naan bread, which gives you a clue about what I'll be making. Basically, it'll be a Balti chicken. One pot meal, easy to make. You can pre-prepare some of the ingredients beforehand if you're going out. There's nothing worse than having to prepare everything at camp when it is pouring with rain or snowing or whatever. There's nothing wrong with pre-preparing some of the items. So tune in next week and have a look. Thanks for watching. See you all later. Bye bye.